All right, well, good Thursday evening to you. I am First Alert Meteorologist David Ernst. You can find me on Facebook as David Ernst, WBAY Meteorologist. We are also streaming this live to the WBAY TV2 Facebook page. So if you have any questions or feel like interacting, I am keeping an eye on that feed, and we'll try to answer any legitimate questions as they come through. I've also got the QR code for the app right underneath me. If you're watching this from a regular old computer, you can pull out your smartphone and scan that code to get the WBAY weather apps for free, whether that be Android or Apple. And we're streaming this to YouTube and our other streaming products. So you're able to catch this in a multitude of places, and we'll be trying to do this at least as the technology allows and staffing permits, Monday through Friday at a minimum at 9 o'clock-ish or so. And Chief Meteorologist Steve Balon also does one of these in the morning, just trying to keep you informed of the changing weather and whatever is going on for the next week weather-wise. Now on Friday, of course, we've been talking about this warm spell, or this one-day warm-up, if you will, all week long, looking at southwest winds gusting upwards of 25, maybe even closer to 30 miles per hour at times. Highs, yeah, up around 50 degrees, so a nice warm up there, but we are looking at colder conditions coming in through the weekend. In case you were wondering, we're not going to be challenging any records, even though those highs are 15, 20 degrees above average. The records we're going up against on Friday were set 2 years ago. Back in 2024, Green Bay hit 70 degrees for the first time in February. We are going to be mild, but we are not going to be that mild. So again, highs around 50 degrees tomorrow, but then colder this weekend. We'll be back into the middle 20s for a high there. We will also see some low chances for snow as we get into the weekend as well. We did have a little bit of light snow for parts of the area this evening. At this point, though, First Alert Viper Max has quieted down, and not seeing anything on there from a snow standpoint, not even out over Lake Michigan. We did have, again, light snow across primarily Marinette, Menominee, and Door counties being the ones that saw a few flakes flying. Didn't see any reports of any big accumulation or anything like that. You can see across the Lake Michigan area there and into lower Michigan is where we are seeing that now. We are looking at generally clear skies across much of northeastern Wisconsin. A little more cloud cover, say, into upper Michigan, far northern Wisconsin, and there is a batch there getting into central Wisconsin. Looks like radar kind of picking up on some elevated returns out of that, so I would suspect that we are looking at some thicker clouds there, but likely that none of that would be reaching the ground. As far as our weather goes, as we head into your weekend and really going through the extended here, it's going to be somewhat active, but it looks like most of those bigger storms will end up missing our area to the south. So we will see some low-end chances for snow like we did this evening. We'll see another one come through on Saturday, perhaps even Sunday morning, another potential for some light snowfall. Monday looks quiet. Tuesday, maybe there's some spotty light mix in the area, but I don't think we see anything major there. And then Wednesday night, there'll be a round of rain showers and some wintry mix comes through. And with that Wednesday into Thursday system, we'll have to keep an eye on the precipitation overnight and temperatures on Thursday morning. Thursday's high is likely to be in the 40s, so what falls then will be rain around the Fox Valley. The issue we could get ourselves into as we head into Thursday morning this week, temperatures may be below freezing, and if we see rain falling into that atmosphere, well, then you're talking about icy roads developing. It's far too early to get into anything specific, just kind of a keep it in the back of your mind late next week. We'll definitely have to watch for some slippery travel in the mornings. If things continue trending in the direction they're going, does not mean that we are guaranteed to see freezing rain or significant accumulations of it later this week. or I guess later next week, I should say, but it is something we will be keeping an eye on. So with that, let's take you into the current conditions here. Right now, sitting at 32 Green Bay, 34 Appleton, a little colder there, Anago at 19, and we do have some low to mid-20s elsewhere in northern Wisconsin. Overnight tonight, skies will stay clear. In fact, I probably will hunt around on Predictor and check, see if we have some different modeling. I said this if you were watching us at 5 and 6. I think Predictor is just overdoing the cloud cover across the area tonight and into tomorrow morning. I suspect there will be a few clouds here and there, just kind of like that pocket we were seeing moving into central Wisconsin, but I think this is overdoing it. I don't think we're looking at nearly overcast skies across the area as we head into Friday morning. By the afternoon, skies will be mostly sunny, even if we see some of that morning cloud cover. We'll be looking for winds out of the southwest for a good part of the day, up around 10, 15 sustained, gusting close to 25. And that will be what pushes that milder air in. And even tonight, temperatures will be somewhat mild for this time of year. Just yesterday, the afternoon temperatures were in the lower half of the 20s, and tonight we're looking at our lows probably a couple degrees above that, with the forecast being middle 20s and even a few spots perhaps in the upper 20s. Looking at your high temperatures tomorrow, as mentioned, an unseasonably warm day for February. Upper 40s, lower to middle 50s. Warmest readings coming the farther south you go, with highs potentially into the middle 50s there. But no records to be had. I think we're just going to be too far away from that record high of 70. 49, yes, it's mild for February. It's 16 degrees above average. But really, realistically, we just don't have a chance of making it all the way up to 70. That was... first time we'd ever done it in Wisconsin's about 140-year climate history. So, we don't typically get that warm in a February, but that is where we were 2 years ago. Let's take a quick look at the weekend forecast. I will grab a wider view here. The local version of Predictor that we run a little too far south in terms of where the snow may track. Let me find... this one right here. Was this going for next week? Okay, yeah, so here we go. So as we go into Saturday morning, there'll be an area of low pressure. It's this little swirl you see here, Kansas, Nebraska, where you see those winds coming together. That is where low pressure will be centered. So to the north of that, a little light snowfall, and you'll see it's right along the Wisconsin-Illinois line for the steadiest snow, but perhaps some light flakes up towards Oshkosh, Appleton, maybe even Green Bay during the day Saturday before everything slides into the eastern Great Lakes. Would not anticipate this to be a major snowfall. In fact, many areas around the Fox Valley likely don't see anything more than perhaps a few flakes. Let me grab snow forecast here. This will be from the National Weather Service, and I'm going to give you the overall totals that are in the forecast here from right now all the way through Sunday. So this will span several days here, but just to give you a sense of how little snow we're looking at. So let me just grab that graphic. There we go. So this will be an overall snowfall forecast through Sunday evening. And you'll notice that our far southern area, you see Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, Wautoma, all with 0.2 of an inch, so a coating to half an inch. Where you start seeing those brighter colors down at the bottom of the screen, that's where you could see upwards of an inch, 2 inches, maybe in some cases a little more than that. But that is going to be into southern Wisconsin. That's where the highest potential for snow would be. Let's go ahead and show you a couple graphics again. If you're a regular viewer here, you catch me at 4:30 on Fridays with Chris. We call these the So You're Telling Me There Is a Chance graphics. So this is what I call the realistic high end. There's only a 10% chance you see more than the amount of snow on screen here in just a second, or you can think of it as there's a 90% chance that you don't get more than this much snowfall. And so you'll notice that swath over the next 48 hours by Saturday evening is right across southern Wisconsin. And so if we overperform on the high end, 1.5 inches or so for Sheboygan over towards Fond du Lac, an inch around Wautoma, close to that Oshkosh, and then you're in that 0.5 inch to an inch range for Green Bay and the Fox Valley. And again, this would be if we overperform. There's greater likelihood you don't see this much snow, but only a 10% chance that you would see more of it. The flip side to this graphic is where you have a 90% chance of seeing at least this much snowfall. And when you call that up, you just notice a very narrow band of it back into Minnesota and the Dakotas. So computer guidance is certainly not set on us guaranteeing snowfall in the area. In fact, probably a better chance that you end up closer to 0 than you do the 1 inch. But that will be something that we will be watching for this weekend, perhaps a little bit of slippery travel here or there. Before I leave you with the 7-day forecast, let's take a quick look at the end of next week. Again, I mentioned that as we head into the time frame there of Wednesday night, Thursday morning, you see some more significant rainfall through the Ohio Valley and on into Indiana, Ohio, lower Michigan. But some of those rain showers do creep into eastern and southern Wisconsin. And if that happens and temperatures in the upper 20s or around 30 degrees, that could lead to some icy conditions developing on untreated roads and sidewalks, parking lots. So we will be monitoring that one, and of course have more updates for you in those first alert forecasts as we get a little closer to that. So I will go ahead and leave you with a look at the first alert Super 7-day forecast here, and you'll see that wild temperature trend, upper 40s on Friday, and some of us will even be in the 50s, 20s on Saturday and Sunday, back into the 30s, a seasonable day on Monday, and then 40s for the rest of next week. And not pictured here on this forecast, but something that is showing up in guidance anyway, maybe headed for some 50s for the first full weekend of March. So that will certainly be something that would have you out and about. And we also have the time change coming up next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday. Sunset will be at 6:50 p.m. So we're going to be adding a lot more daylight to those evenings. I've got Action 2 News coming your way at 10 o'clock here, so in about 45 minutes, I'll have a forecast update, and we'll have your latest news and sports headlines as well. So hope to see you then. Have a great night.